Hey guys, Akhtar Khan here. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Now today we've got an exciting topic to explore and I want to really help unpack some of the confusion around this and give you a couple of important distinctions about the truth around buying businesses, no money down. So I want to be your friendly helper here and I want to shed some light on this quite intriguing but also quite confusing subject. So let's dive straight into this. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I've been in business for over 30 years. I've been a property entrepreneur for over 20 with 210 property acquisitions behind my belt. For the last 5 years, we've been in M&A. I've also just exited a construction group with my business partners. We've set up a new property group in central London and we've just set up a private equity fund, which we're in the process of setting up right now. So some exciting stuff going on with us. That's why we've been quiet on social media. And what I want to do in this video is really go into the depths around doing no money down deals, because we get a lot of people coming to us. I speak to people on a regular basis who want to come and join our academy. Some of these guys have been watching stuff online with lots of other gurus. There's a lot of information out there. And what I want to do in this video is I want to dispel the myths and give you the truth around the reality of doing these types of deals, okay? So it's really important, first of all, we understand what is a no money down deal, because it's not really as simple as it sounds. Buying a business with no money down typically involves using some kind of creative financing strategy or leveraging existing assets. But it's really important that you become aware of the risks and the limitations that come along with that. So in my case, and the thing that I prefer to do, this is how we've done most of our acquisitions, is we've always tried to structure the deals with minimal capital down, but that's not always possible. So the first question is this, okay? Can you actually do zero money down deals, okay? And the answer is yes, but there's two important factors that you need to understand. And this is what I found in my experience, okay? The first thing is this: can the seller actually give you the business no money down? Because if they need capital or they need some money out of the business, then they simply can't. Unless you can create a way of finding that money or leveraging some other kind of asset or pulling the money in from another source. If they need money to move on from the deal, let's say they've got to pay some debts down, let's say they've got to pay their mortgage off, let's say they want to immigrate to another country and they need that capital right away, it may be a difficult thing to do unless you can phase it within their timescales, okay? So not in every scenario will you have an example of a deal where the seller can actually just do a no money down deal and hand you the business straight away. There's always different cases and different scenarios. So I want you to understand that not every business owner is going to be able to accept a complete zero money down deal. So you need to be mindful of that. If you think you can go out there and do all these deals, it's going to be down to the seller. And that's the first thing, okay? The second thing that you need to understand is it's going to come down to trust, okay? And what I mean by trust is, do you have the capability to be able to take the business, run the business, and make sure that you don't screw it up? In essence, whenever we are asking for a deferred consideration or some kind of vendor finance, in essence, what you're doing is saying, hey, I want to take the baby. Can you look after the baby? To give you an analogy, it's like saying, hey, look, I want to take the keys to the Ferrari. Well, can you drive a Ferrari? Can you maintain a Ferrari? If you crash the Ferrari and total it and wreck it, can you replace it? So if you're coming out of a job or if you're coming out of a situation where you've not done an acquisition before or you've got no business experience, it's very, very difficult for you to be able to convince the seller of the business that you're going to be able to take it, run it, look after it, nurture it. And if the shit hits the fan and it all goes wrong, you're going to be able to write a check to cover the deferred consideration. A lot of people don't kind of get this and they don't really understand this. This is really important to understand the psychology that goes on. You've got to put yourself in the shoes of the business seller to see whether they can, number one, accept the deal on the terms that you want to propose, but number two, have they got the faith in you? And I think this is really, really important when it comes to positioning yourself to do deals. So one of the things I talk about a lot in some of my previous videos that I've done, also what I teach inside the academy, is that your status is really important when it comes to doing deals. If you are, in the eyes of the seller, not somebody that can run the business, they're not going to do a deal with you, right? You need to demonstrate competency. And if you can't demonstrate competency yourself, you need to have an associate, a business partner, a board of directors, or a team of people around you that can demonstrate competency, because that seller wants to know, can you run the business? Can you manage it? Can you take it to the next level and grow beyond their capabilities? And if you crash the Ferrari, i.e. if something goes wrong with the business, can you afford to pay for it? Do you have money elsewhere? Do you have another business? Do you have assets and property? Have you got access to funds to be able to pay the deferred consideration? And I think a lot of people don't go into acquisitions as newbies understanding this properly. If you've already got a business, you've got some resources behind you, you've got some assets, then you're going to be in a much stronger position. So I think it's really important to understand that distinction. I recently had someone come to me that wanted to join my mastermind. And he told me that he'd been on 3 previous masterminds. And I remember thinking to myself, wow, there's something not quite right here. And 2 of them were very big name gurus. And then he went on with someone else. Then he was coming to me and I'm thinking, this is a big red flag. Why is this guy going from mastermind to mastermind to mastermind with some very well respected people in the industry? And I asked him what his process was. Now, he was trying to buy another logistics company. And I said, okay, how are you approaching? Direct to vendor. He's sending out letters. And I'm like, okay, great. What's happening? He said, we're not getting a response rate. And I said, how many are you sending out? It was hundreds. And I said, okay, what are you putting down on your letter? And he said, well, this is the structure of my letter. This is what I'm putting in, and I'm signing off as my name and my company. I'm like, okay, great. So tell me about your company. And he told me about the company and said, okay, what's the turnover of your company, the net profit? He said, it's about 100K. And I said, okay, great. What's the size of the businesses that you're looking for? And he said, well, they're turning over and netting like, £1 million. And I'm like, okay, there's the problem. So he's not positioned himself the right way. So a business owner is going to look at that letter, see the company name, go on company's house, do a search for it, and they're going to say, look, this company's turning over 100K a year. How the hell are they going to buy us out when we're turning over or netting £1 million profit? So in essence, and this is what I said to this particular individual, I said, look, dude, you don't need to come on my mastermind. What you need to do is you need to reposition yourself the right way. In essence, what he's doing is he's saying, look, I want to take over the keys to this Ferrari. I want to come and take your Ferrari. But what he's demonstrating through his marketing and his positioning is that he's driving a Fiat 500. Who's going to take him seriously? And I said this in the most respectful way, which is you've got to position yourself. So coming back to summarize this, guys, you've got to make sure that the seller can actually take the consideration that you're offering or the terms that you're offering. If they need the money up front and you haven't got it, you're not going to get to do the deal, okay? The second thing then is, have you positioned yourself the right way? Have you positioned yourself as being a person of means that can maintain and run the business and also pay for it through some other source, not just the profits of the business? And can you demonstrate competency? Okay, so seller financing, deferred consideration is a typical way that people do things, but these are really important distinctions that you need to understand. So even with the last couple of acquisitions that we've done, and by the way, guys, I'm not just doing M&A stuff now. I've shifted now and we're growing a portfolio in central London. We're doing some quite high-end hospitality type properties. We're acquiring things for service accommodation. We're also acquiring small hotels and some commercial property. A lot of those are wrapped up in company structures and we're structuring them the same way. So if we give you an example of the last 3 deals that we did, we had a manufacturing company that we did early part of the year. It was £12 million turnover, £1 million net profit. We was able to do that on a handshake, 0 money down. We had another company, which was a construction company, £3 million acquisition, but the owner wanted £1 million cash up front. Last acquisition that we did, which was a property acquisition, which is we're negotiating right now, owner wanted a certain amount of money up front. It wasn't a huge amount of money, but they needed some money up front. So just to prepare you guys and to get you like really understanding the reality of doing these no money down deals, yes, you can do them, but not every deal is going to be a no money down deal. You know, if it's a crap deal or there's a problem or it's distressed, yeah, someone's going to throw it at you, but is that necessarily the kind of business that you want? Yeah, maybe not. And especially if you're just starting out, you probably don't want to get a distressed business. You want something that's a good, easy business that you can grow and scale. And also you want it to be, you know, something that's going to provide you income. You want to be doing this. And I say this to people all the time. You want your business and your business acquisitions. That's not the end goal. They are the vehicles to build the wealth that you want, the income that you want, so you can go live your best life, go live your dream life. So it's important that when you're going out and starting out and doing this stuff, you find the right kind of deals, the right kind of sellers, and just know that the reality is not every deal, even with us and as experienced as we are, with the credibility and positioning we've got, not every deal for us is a no money down deal. We try to do minimal capital down because then we can recycle our cash. And that's also one of the things that led us to going down the route of setting our own private equity fund up, because we often had money tied up in businesses, we often had money tied up in property deals and things like that. And of course, with what's gone on in the property market, refinancing, pulling money out has become difficult. That led us down the route of raising private funds from private equity, from family offices and ultra high net worth individuals. And what we found is that, you know, there's an appetite for some types of businesses that people will invest in, and other types of businesses people won't. Property tends to be quite a palatable thing for investors. Property is quite simple. So getting into property or raising for property is quite a simple thing to do. Certain businesses can be difficult to raise from. So just want to set your expectations so you understand the reality. Can some deals be done no money down? Absolutely. Can some deals that are great deals need money down? Absolutely. So relying just on trying to buy businesses with no capital down is going to be difficult. You want more tools in your toolbox. This is why we set up our own private equity fund, and we're working with a lot of high net worth investors and also other funds. And I'll be doing some content and some videos around this subject as we go forwards, because I think more people need to understand you're going to have to try and raise some capital. If it's not your own, other people's, private, equity or funds and things like that, they will invest into businesses depending if they've got an appetite for it. So there you have it, guys. I hope you found this video super useful and it gives you some clarity about what you need to do. So just to recap, can you do no money down deals? Absolutely. Is every deal going to be a no money down deal? No. It's going to depend on whether the seller can take, a no money down consideration, or if they need some money, or if they need money to exit. And the other thing, and this is more important than anything else, okay, it's your positioning. Can you demonstrate competency? Can you demonstrate that you can take the Ferrari without crashing it? And if you do crash it, can you replace it? So have you got the means financially to be able to run the business and pay for the deferred consideration and vendor finance? Also, can you demonstrate competency? Have you got experience in the industry? Have your business partners got experience in the industry? Have your associates or your board of directors? Because if you can fill them with the confidence that you can take the business, run the business, at least at bare minimum, that's going to be a good thing to tick in the mind of the seller that you can run the business. But what you really want to be doing is demonstrating that you've got what it takes to grow that business to the next level. So one of the things that we do, and I'm going to invite one of our students on to come and do a workshop on this or a video on this, is we encourage our students, when you go through that due diligence process, to do a SWOT analysis on the business and a growth plan. So you want to be doing this as part of your negotiation, because you're not just negotiating the numbers down, you're demonstrating the competency that you know how to run the business, but also how to take it to the next level. So guys, there you have it. I hope you found this video useful. Do me a favor, comment below, like and subscribe, okay? And remember to share this, okay? Because we're gonna be doing a lot more stuff, and we want to spread this stuff out there so more people understand the truth and reality of doing this stuff. You can do it, you just need to understand what the parameters are, okay? If you want some help with this kind of stuff, look at the links below the video. You see there's a link to our Facebook group. You can come and join that for free. We also have a private members academy for men only. This is for men, nothing against women. This is just where we find that we can help men with their mindset and also getting things done. We find that men tend to open up more when there's no women in the group. If you want some advice on mentoring, then click a link below. You can talk to one of my team. So there you have it, guys. I hope you found this useful, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care. Bye for now.